Okay, so let's talk about being able to set up our own proportions to be able to problem solve. Okay, that's what we're going to be working with today. So our learning goal over here says I can set up, so you have to set up your own and solve a proportion, and that's what we were doing yesterday when we were practicing to solve problems. Okay, so we're going to work with this first one here, which says that we have Linda, who plays on her high school softball team. She plays third base and is a decent batter. Okay, does any of that give us any mathematical information at this point? No, it's just part of the story, isn't it? Okay. Sometimes in the story they give us also sometimes some information we just don't really need to be able to get the math problem solved. Okay, but now it's starting to talk about her making some hits. She makes 5 hits out of every 15 times at bat. Over the season, she has 30 hits. Okay, so we have to dissect that information and see what did they really tell us and how can I use the information that they gave me. Okay, so let's underline that she makes 5 hits out of every 15 times at bat. That's important. In fact, we're going to actually put a box around makes 5 hits. And then we're going to put a box around 15 times at bat. Okay, so would you engage and do this with, please, my daydreamers? Those are 2 important pieces of information. Over the season, she has 30 hits. Over the season, she has 30 hits. Let's circle that. Over the season, she has 30 hits. Okay, the question is, how many times in the season does she miss the ball? That's a really important piece right there, too. Does she miss the ball? Let's double underline that. Does she miss the ball? How many times does she miss the ball? That's what they want to know. So in other words, she doesn't do what? What happens? If she misses the ball, she doesn't get what? She doesn't get a hit, right? So either she gets a hit or she misses. She doesn't get a hit. Okay, so our table, our ratio, I call these ratio boxes, by the way, in algebra class, so let's just get used to calling them that this year because next year you'll hear it again. This is called setting up a ratio box, which we've been calling tables. And in our ratio box, in our table, we have to decide what are the things that are going to be represented. Well, here's how we make that decision. What are the things we know, and what are the things we need to find out? Okay, well, first, very important is what is the thing we need to find out, right? So notice, we need to find out how many times she misses the ball. So that's one of our categories in our box, one of the relationships. And then the other one is the number of hits because it tells us how many she makes out of how many times she's at bat, and it tells us how many she makes over the season. So that's why we choose number of hits. So we're going to have to start deciding that on our own. Here they already decided it for us. Okay, so let's set up a ratio that compares hits to misses. Right here in this first part of our ratio box. Hits to misses. Anybody think they know a ratio we could set up there? She makes 5 hits. How many times does she miss? Kira? She makes 5 hits out of every 15 times at bat. How many times does she miss? Write this. She misses, if she's at bat 15 times, and she makes 5 hits, what do we have to do? Subtract 5. So 15, the 15 times she goes up to bat, take away the 5 times she gets a hit, should tell us how many times she doesn't get it, how many times she misses. So how many times did she miss? 10. Okay? So since we now know how many times she hit the ball, and we know how many times she missed the ball, could we fill in the first part of our table? Yeah, we could say for when she gets 5 hits, she misses 10 times. For every 5 hits, she has 10 misses. Okay, now we need to find another ratio because remember, proportion is a ratio set equal to another ratio. So, Number of hits, do we have some information about some more hits? Do we have any more information about some more hits? I think we do. She got 30 of them, didn't she? Over the season? Over the season, she got 30 hits. Over the season, she got 30 hits. Do we know how many times she missed? No, that's the question. How many times in the season does she miss the ball? So we are going to call that X, okay? We're going to call this X. This right here becomes our X. How many times does she miss the ball, okay, during the season? So we're now going to write our proportion. 5 over 10 is equal to 30 over X. And now we'll do like we did in class yesterday. We have to get X, we're solving for X, so we're going to go from 10 to X. We have two different ways we can go from 10 to X. We can go 10 to X this way, or we can go from 30 to X this way, okay? So, we have two choices here, don't we? Let's see if both of them are good choices, if they're friendly choices. So in other words, if we wanted to go from 10 to X, we would have to go from 5 to 30. The arrows have to go the same way. So what do we do to get from 5 to 30? Caden?
Multiply by 6.
Multiply by 6. So we can multiply by 6. That's one way we could do it. Or we have the option of if we have to go from 30 to X, then that would mean we could go from 5 to 10. What's our option there? 5 to 10 times 2. So we have two options here. We have two options of ways to go about this one. So, which one do you want to do? Let me give me a multiplication problem, because it looks like either way it's going to be a multiplication problem. Who wants to give me the multiplication problem we could do? Yanni? 6 times what? Okay, so 10 times 6? Okay, 10 times 6, we'll just follow it across. She's working with this right here. I'll highlight it on mine. She's working with this part right here. 10 times 6 equals what? X equals X, the thing we're looking for. Kaden, I want you to sit up, please, and I want you to be more engaged. Thank you. 10 times 6 is? 60. So our X is 60. So the answer, how many times was Lydia at bat during the season? Oh, no, what's this one? Oh, this is the next problem. Okay, answer is 60 what? 60 misses. 60 misses is what we just found out. We give our label to it. We know what that 60 is representing. So if she got 30 hits during the season, how many times did she miss the ball? 60. Does that seem reasonable? If she got 5 hits out of the year and she got 10 misses, or they said the ratio was 5 hits for every 15 times at bat, we decided she missed 10 times. Is 5 to 10 really the same as 30 to 60? Let's evaluate that. Is 5 to 10 the same as, or in other words, if we filled in that 60 there for the X, would these, are they saying the same thing? They are, aren't they? Because 5 over 10 can be simplified to what? 1/2. 30 over 60 can be simplified to what? 1/2. Well, look at there. They mean the same thing. What's this now saying? This is saying for every one time she gets a hit, she has 2 misses. Every one time she gets a hit, she has 2 misses. So they're all different ways of talking about, if we made a big long table and we said every 5 hits, so we did 5 hits and then 10 hits and then 15 hits and so on, we could give all different representations of hits and misses, okay? Well, then the next thing they want us to do with this same information is they want to say how many times was Lydia at bat during the season. So number of hits, we're comparing this time to the number of bats. Do we have the information for that? Sure we do. Okay, what are we going to say? 5 hits. How many times was she at bat when she got those 5 hits? 15. Number of hits. Remember, she got 30 throughout the season. How many times was Lydia at bat? Times was Lydia at bat. There's going to be our X. Okay, so this time, our proportion looks like this. Whoops, not 15 upstairs, 5 upstairs. 5 over 15 equals 30 over X. 5 over 15 equals 30 over X. We need to get to X. We're either going to go from 15 to X, or we're going to go from 30 to X. Okay? Let's do the vertical this time. Okay, let's just do one way this time. Let's get from 30 to X. Remember, we need to go either vertically or horizontally to the variable. To the variable. So if we do it that way over there, we got to do it that way over on the other side. How do we get from 5 to 15? Times 3. We multiply by 3. So what's our equation going to be that we're going to write? It's our algebraic equation we're going to write. 30 times 3 equals X. And 30 times 3 is 90. 90 is our X. So answer, 90 what? Times what? At bat. So, if for every 5 hits she got, she was at bat 15 times, this is saying that when she got 30 hits, she was up to bat 90 times. Tell me something about, remember the relationship between 5 and 15 is 5 times 3 is 15, and 30 times 3 is 90. Okay, so we gotta not only just be able to follow the steps, but make the connection too. Okay, well the next one, did they start the box for us? Did they give it anything? Have they done anything for us? Not a darn thing, but draw the table that we're gonna make our ratio box with. Okay, so we got Jerome, who's a wide receiver on his high school football team. And he catches 2 passes out of every 6 passes thrown to him during the game. Over the season, Jerome caught 30 passes. Okay, so catches 2 out of every 6. So catches 2 out of 6. Over the season, Jerome caught 30 passes. Caught 30 passes. How many passes did Jerome not catch? That's important information. Not catch over the season. Okay, so what are we going to represent in our table from all this? Okay, caught and not caught. Okay, passes caught. Let's see if we can get that to work. Passes caught, passes not caught. Let's see if we can get that to work. See if that'll answer the question that they want from us. Let's say, how many passes did Jerome not catch? So not caught. Okay. Well, let's see if we can set up some ratios then. What could one of our ratios be? Kaden?
2 over 6.
2 over 6. Okay. Well, he catches 2 out of every 6 passes. Do we know how many he did not catch?
No.
We gotta find it, don't we?
Yeah.
So what do we have to do first? Not caught. We have to first do 6 passes altogether. Take away how many catches did he have? 2. Leaves how many that he did not catch, which is 4. Okay, I think we should change our ratio now, Kaden. To what?
2.
2 to 4. So for every 2 he caught, there were 4 he did not catch. Okay, what could our other ratio be? 30 over
X.
X, he caught 30. We're supposed to figure out how many he did not catch over the season. Okay, so let's write our ratio, or our proportion now. 2 over 4 equals 30 over X. Okay. Tell me the two possible ways we could go, from what to what? Wade, what's one thing we could do?
2 to 4.
2 to 4? Oh, I first want us to think of it though as 30 to X. Okay, so 30 to X, which then, yes, we'd have to go 2 to 4, wouldn't we? Okay, that's one way we could go. That's our vertical. Would that be friendly?
Yes.
Okay, how about, is there another way? What else could we possibly try? Danny? So, in other words, the 4 to the X, which would then take us to 2 to the 30, right? Okay, is that friendly? It is, but it's a little bit bigger. Yours like, no, I don't want to do that one. I have to work with bigger numbers. All right? Yeah, okay. So let's do the vertical way this time, huh? In other words, we're going to go from 30 to X. What do we have to do to go from 2 to 4 then? Because they both got to go the same direction. So what do we have to do, Wade?
Multiply by 2.
We have to multiply by 2. We have to multiply by 2. So what would our equation be? Harley, what would our equation be? Yeah, 30 times 2. What? Finish for me? Equals X. Okay, good. And 30 times 2, class is? 60. So 60 equals X. So over here we come to where they want us to give our answer. It's 60 what? Passes not caught. We have to describe what we just found. We can't just say 60. We say 60 what? Well, we just found out that if he caught 30 passes, there were 60 he did not catch. Okay? So then it says, how many total passes were thrown to Jerome during the season? So now we are looking for total passes. How many total passes? So what do you think we should represent? What should be our titles in our table this time? Okay, so we need some total passes in there, right? Let's put that on the bottom. What else could we use in there? Kaden? Passes thrown. Well, isn't that what this is? It's total passes. And that passes thrown. Same thing. Yeah. So can't use the same thing. What could we use instead? Come on, class. What could we use instead? We already passes thrown is the same as total passes. Passes thrown does not say anything about whether they were caught or not, does it? They were just thrown. Okay, Danny. Passes not caught. Okay, well we could use that. Passes not caught. Okay. See if this works then. Okay. Passes not caught. Give me a ratio of that. With the passes not caught compared to the total passes. What's the ratio we could use then? Kaden, what do you think?
3 over 6.
3 over 6. Okay, where does 3 and 6 come from? Help me out. Injected some new numbers that maybe we should not have involved. Okay, Cheyenne? 2 over 6. Okay, so in other words, there were 2 passes not caught for every 6 passes. I think I might have to disagree. How many were not caught out of those 6? 4. So since I let Danny pick passes not caught, we got to make sure we have passes not caught represented then. It's 4. And out of 6 passes. Okay, then we'll give you the other ratio. We need to figure out how many total passes. You want to try that again, Peyton? Okay.
X over 30.
X over 30, so we're looking for the we're looking for the passes not caught. That's what X would represent. This is X right here.
Oh,
How many total passes? That's our X.
34 X.
So X has got to be down here, doesn't it? Okay, and what would it be, 30? Were there 30 total passes somewhere? Okay, where does it say that?
Passes caught.
Well, the passes just caught, would that be total passes? Would passes caught be total passes? No. What about the ones that weren't caught? Wouldn't they be in that total too? Well then, we're gonna have to come up with passes not caught that could be compared to the total passes. We've already used the 4, so we can't use that. Because if it's 4 out of 6, we're looking for how many out of the total? Kira?
60.
I think we probably need to use 60. The answer we just got in the previous part. 60. Okay, now this could have been a lot easier if we would have chosen passes caught, but you know what, I let Danny go with it just to see if we could challenge ourselves. Okay, so let's write our ratio. 4 over 6 equals 60 over X. Now let's see if that works. See if our answer makes sense when we're all done then. Okay, well, we gotta go from either 60 to X or from 6 to X. Which one is gonna looks like it could be more friendly? What about the vertical? Would 4 to 6 be friendly?
No.
Would 4 to 60 be friendly? Well, it'd be friendlier than 4 to 6, wouldn't it? So let's do the horizontal. Oh, we need to know what times 4 is 60. Or in other words, what's 60 divided by 4? Oh, those calculators, go for them. I don't know, lay it down here. Come on, find out. What times 4 is 60? Hilda? 20. Well, I think 4 times 20 is 80, man. Am I right? I think you're kind of close, though. Hakia?
15.
15. It's 4 times 15. It's 4 times 15. So that means we got to take 6 times 15, don't we? Okay? So 6 times 15 is 90. Oh, well, but before we do that, we have to write our equation, don't we? Yeah. 90 is our X. 90 what? Total passes. 90 total passes. Okay. Does that seem reasonable? Yes? Wait, it does. Can you tell me why? Anybody tell me why 90 seems reasonable?
I just have a few.
Let's go back up to this, you guys. Look up here. Look up here. It says, caught 30 passes over the season. Well, if he caught 30 and he didn't catch 60, 30 plus 60 is, I think we have a good answer. You agree? Okay. Okay, let's go to the back side. Do we have more on there? Of course we do. We have a couple more to do. Okay. You read that one, and I want you to decide what should be our title in this first ratio box. What should be our title in the first ratio box? Read it to yourself. Underline, circle, box. Thank you very much. Okay, anybody got it figured out? What were some of the things you thought were important in this?
4 out of 8 passes and completes 36 passes.
Okay, completes 4 And what's the 8 then? Is that a, because it doesn't say any words there, it says of 8 passes. What would that be? Would that be a total?
Yeah.
Okay, let's maybe put that there. Total right there. That 8 is representing a total. He completes 4 out of 8. A completed pass is one that's caught. In 5 games, Cam completes 36 passes. How many passes? Oh, that's kind of important, isn't it? Completes 36. So we have a completion of 4, and then we have a completion of 36. We know that there were 8 total passes when there were those 4 completed. How many passes did Cam not complete? Not complete. There's our X. So what should we use for titles? Not complete. Okay. Passes not completed. And passes that are completed. Okay, so we'll do passes completed compared to passes not completed. And by the way, it wouldn't matter which one we put on top. I just, I'm just kind of like orderly. I like things. It was talking about passes made in it before not. So we got passes that were completed, passes not completed, and that's kind of important because we need a not completed, don't we? That's going to be our X. Okay, so what could our first ratio be? What can we put in there for the first ratio? How many were completed? 4. Out of how many? So were there 8 not completed then? Oh, don't we have to do an 8 minus 4? 8 passes total. Take away the 4 he made. That means that he did not make 4 of them. So both of those are 4s, aren't they? So for every 4 he made, there were 4 he did not make. Did not complete. Okay, what could the other ratio be then? Completes 36 passes. 36 over X. 36 over X. So there's our ratios that help us write our proportion. Okay. I want you right now not to work any harder than you have to. So don't even put your fingers to your calculator, please. What does X have to equal in this situation? Kira? No. What does X have to equal in this situation? Okay, come on, show me your math sense now. 4 over 4. 4 compared to 4. 36 compared to? 0. No. Sylvia? 36. 4 compared to itself. 36 compared to itself. Because what's 4 over 4 equal to? 1. And what's 36 over 36 equal to? 1. Yeah. So, do we really have to work very hard at this one? Unless you're not convinced. Are you not convinced? Anybody not convinced? You want to go through all the work? You know what? Has to, let's just put this, has to equal 36. Because we have good math sense. But of course you could set up, you could do the vertical strategy, the horizontal strategy, you could write the equation, you could do all that. But in this one case, I'm going to let you off the hook and say, you know what? We know it has to be 36 because you're comparing 4 to 4, so we have to compare 36 to 36. We're comparing a number to itself in one ratio, so we'll compare the number to itself in the other ratio. 36 what? Passes not completed. Okay, now we're going to talk about one more thing with this one before we move on, because you're going to have to do this in your homework. We're going to go back to the part-to-part and part-to-whole relationship thing. So what kind of a relationship is this comparison that we're making? Parts complete, or passes completed to passes not completed. Part-to-part or part-to-whole? Part-to-part. Yeah, this is a part-to-part. Let's put that over here. This is a part-to-part relationship. part of passes that were made, the part of passes that were not made. We're comparing parts to parts. Okay, then in the next one it says how many total passes did Cam make in the 5 games? Hey, by the way, did you notice? Well, no, let me just hold off on that question for a second here. Let's get this one filled out. What are we going to compare? We need some total passes in there, okay? And you know what, just for the fun of it, I'm going to put total passes on the top because that's the first thing you said. I'm just going to go against, what my body wants me to do. Because I'm going to show you that it still works. Total passes, they got to be in there because we're supposed to figure out how many total passes, so that's our X. How many total passes, that's our X, so we got to have that in there. What else? Now you're going to decide what else you're going to compare. I'm not doing it for you, so help me. What else do we know? Do we know some other stuff? I sure hope so. We're just figuring out comparison. I don't care about numbers right now. I want to know what can we compare the total number of passes to? Danny? Passes not completed. Okay, do you guys want to go with Danny? All in favor of Danny's choice? Oh, it's starting to become a majority. Majority wins. Okay. Passes not completed. Okay. Give me a ratio now that we can fill in there. Passes, total passes, passes not completed. Give me a ratio. Good comparison. Yes, ma'am? And what? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, we got to stop and see what she's comparing here. Okay. For what are these? What's that for representing again? Passes that were completed, or we also found out there were 4 that were not completed, right? So it could be either of those. What's it in the row for though? It's right here. We're saying that's total passes. Can that be there? Do we have a 4 total passes anywhere? No. Well, sorry, you're going 4. You can't be there. Okay. How about passes not completed? That 8. That's what this says. Passes not completed 8. Do we have any 8 not completed passes? We had a 4. Oh, we had a 36. Do we have an 8? No, sorry, 8. You're gone. Okay, how about this one? Total passes 36. Do we have somewhere that we found out there were 36 total passes?
Yes.
Where? Let me come show me, because I can't see it.
It says passes completed.
Where? No, total passes. We're talking about total passes right now. Total passes. Completes 36 passes? Is that a total? I think we want to look for the word throws. Pass. Okay, so you think 36 can stay? I don't, sorry. Okay, well, bye. See ya. Okay, how about this 36? Can that stay? Passes not completed. Oh, that one can stay. Okay, well then if that one's going to stay, we got to find the total passes to compare it to. Or if nothing else, if you want to back up and go figure out this ratio first, you can. Come up with another total passes to passes not completed. Okay, I'll help you out. Remember, he threw 8 passes? And how many of those did he not complete?
36.
How many?
34.
4. 4. He did not complete 4 of them. Well then, if there were 36 passes not completed over the 5 games, remember this was over the 5 games, that would be a total number not completed. Wouldn't the X go right here? Out of how many passes were there 36 not completed?
Yes.
Okay, finally. Oh. Okay, 8 over 4 equals X over 36. We gotta get to X, that's your question. How do I get to X? So how do I get to X? Well, I have a couple of choices here. I can go from 36 to X, or I can go from 8 to X. It doesn't matter which way I go. So let's just check out this one first of all. Is this one friendly? 4 to 8. Friendly?
Yes.
What is it?
Two.
Times 2. Okay, then let's do that. So our equation would be what would our equation be? 30, we're gonna have to work,
36 times
thank you, 36 times 2 equals X. We're gonna work from bottom up. 36 times 2 equals X. What's 36 times 2? 72, somebody says. So 72 what? Total passes. 72 total passes. Well, you know what? I'm feeling pretty confident about our answer. You know why? Because if he completed 4, he did not complete 4. If he completed 36, he did not complete 36. So tell me, if he didn't complete 36, then how many did he complete? No. If he did not complete 36, how many did he complete? 36. Remember they told us that in the beginning. What's 36 plus 36? Does your calculator help? 36 plus 36 is? Okay, there were 36 he made, 36 he did not complete. That would make 72 altogether. Okay. Let's talk about the part-to-part or part-to-whole relationship here. What is this?
Part to part.
Part-to-part. Okay? You all convinced? Gillian's not. Gillian's got her head shaking the other way back there. Sorry. How come, Gillian? What do you think it should be?
The total means the relationship.
Yeah, total means a whole relationship, doesn't it? The word total tells you right there, whole. So I think you better all change your mind and agree with Gillian here. It's part to whole. It's part to whole. Good job. Okay, let's put that over here. Part to whole. And the last one's gonna have to be left undone. Oh well. We can do this now, right? You're gonna be able to do this on your own? You got this? Show me. You got this? 2 thumbs up from Kira. Okay, awesome.